Hello, everybody. Welcome to another stream. We're going to be continuing the PS4 port from yesterday, or technically 2 days ago, I guess, since we're doing another early morning stream. Same setup, basically. I did manage to fix the issues that were really pissing me off last stream, though. So yeah, those who were here for the last stream may remember we were having really, really weird issues that I couldn't really explain. Um, I was calling the recipe from syscall, and I was getting error nodes that really didn't make sense. It wasn't the syscall was failing, obviously, and yeah, I not only could I not peek mbuffs, like I couldn't peek messages from the socket, but I couldn't receive messages at all using the recipe from syscall. And I had this problem before on some of the earlier streams too. I had to use the read syscall essentially to get data out of a socket, which is obviously not ideal. It worked, but you can't peek if you use the read syscall, and for my strategy, peeking is pretty important. Um, but thankfully, last couple hours ago, I figured out. Well, me and two other people. It was kind of a collaborative effort. We figured out what the hell was going on. So I have Chendo Chap and Flats to thank for helping me out there because I was kind of talking through uh, my issue, and by talking, like, you know, bouncing ideas off each other, we figured out what the problem was. It was a pretty silly bug. So I'll go through that in a minute here, and then we'll be able to actually get started on doing the cool stuff with the PS4 port and using the beep counter. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. I'm seeing lots of good mornings. Good morning from Germany, Turkey, Egypt, Romania. Wow, we got lots of countries. So it wasn't corruption from the ROP. No, it was I actually that was my first thought. So what I did before I like talked to anybody was I diffed what I had for the ROP chain stuff with what's on the 5.05 repo, and it was the exact same basically. So I knew the ROP chain couldn't have been broken. Um, it essentially came down to two issues. So I'll get into that in a second. Good morning from Spain too. Are you working on WebKit? Um, we're implementing a kernel exploit in ROP chains in WebKit, if that makes sense. Good mornings coming in from India too. We got a lot of like different countries, people from different countries coming in. That is one thing I like about streaming at this time is being able to see some of the people you don't always get to see on the streams. Just to break it up a bit, have a terrible morning. Thank you, Z. Z's providing the spice of life, variety. Always thinking ahead. All right, so let's cover both the issues, because they were really dumb. So issue number one, um, the bind syscall. I noted. You can see these weren't in here at the end of last stream. I was like, okay, let's break down every single line of code that gets executed, right? So I inserted a bunch of debug logs. Um, I inserted the bug log for when the socket gets created, when I bind it, when I get the sock name, and when I connect to it. One of the problems I had was this code was actually up here before. There was one point in the last stream where I was like, okay, I don't want to allocate every loop iteration for every socket I create because I don't need to, so I'm just going to allocate the address here. And then kind of carrying on with that line of thinking, I also wrote the address information outside of the loop. Problem with that is when you're creating a socket and binding to it and then getting a socket name to connect to, this is gonna smash your address buffer. So then when the next loop goes to iterate, it no longer has the loopback address information. It has a different address, right? It has the address for you to connect to. So when it went to the next loop iteration and it went to bind, it no longer had a correct address to bind to, and the bind would fail. So that explained why every other socket failed to open, is because I wasn't rewriting the server information to bind the socket to the proper address, right? So that was fix number one, was moving these writes into the create UDP loopback sock function. The second issue was the more annoying one, where resv from just didn't work, and I was getting the error nose and chasing down rabbit holes. I think I went through like 7 different error nodes on stream, and I just couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. Turns out, after enough playing around, I figured out that if I substituted the resv from string here with the index of resv from, which is 29, I believe. Yeah, 29. It worked. But then when I put the string back, it didn't work anymore. So for those who don't know how the syscall primitive works in WebKit, if you've never looked, it's developed so that you can pass both a string of a syscall name, or you can pass the syscall number. If you pass a string, then it'll internally look up against syscalls.js, which has a mapping of the syscall names to syscall indexes. Now, what the problem was there was actually 2 entries for resv from. There was 29, which is the proper entry. There was also 125, which I believe comes from the fact that, let me see if I can get the file up here to show you guys. syscalls.master. So, 125. So you can see in the syscall master list, there's a resv from at 125, and the one that's actually used at 29. 125 is a compatibility syscall. It is not a standard syscall. So I don't even know what this is on PS4. It could be like a custom Sony syscall. It could be nothing. I haven't really looked at it too much because I haven't, it doesn't really matter. It's kind of irrelevant. But basically what the issue was because there was 2 entries in here when it was doing that lookup. The way JavaScript arrays work is it'll take the last index that it matches. So if you have duplicate entries, it'll always take the second one, right? So yeah, I mean, what was happening was it was issuing a syscall to 125 instead of to 29. So yeah, Flats helped discover that there was that duplicate entry in there. It was kind of a frustrating moment because I think it is literally the only syscall in this list that was duplicated. It was just really, really, really bad luck that was the one syscall that made it in here twice. Yeah, it was just fate, I guess. It's pretty insane. So yeah, that issue is fixed. Now, if I switch over to the PS4, we should be able to get our peak, push and peak example working again, just like it was on C in C on the VM. All right, so you guys should be able to see the kernel log. I have that up on stream again, and yeah, we've ran it again. And if you take a look, there is a lot of stuff here, but basically, peak I equals 0, I equals 1. You can see the dump, the first byte changes from 0 to 1 and then to 2. And obviously, the resv from returns 4, which is a valid, like a positive integer, which means it's returning the number of bytes that we're reading instead of returning -1 like it was before. So that's good. We can now get to work on actually porting the POC properly. So we'll get started on that now. After I remove these debug lines, because I don't need these anymore. Let's just get rid of those really quick. So we don't need that, or that, or that, that. Don't need these RVs either, because we know it succeeds. We can also get rid of these debug logs that we did to help us. I do need to fix up, I think. Yeah, the peak. So I do have to restore the flags, actually, because when I was playing around trying to figure out what was going on, I did remove the flags from the pop and peak mbuff functions. So I need to add a message don't wait and message don't wait, message peak. There we go. Now they're restored to their proper form. All right. So where are we at right now? Let's take a quick look. So we've got the UDP sockets created. We've got this is the example, right? This is where we do the push and the peak. So at the moment we can remove this. We'll keep the tag packet because we're going to use that later. But this what we want to do first, now that we know that the push and peak works, is we want to implement the double free and get our overlap working. This is probably where we're going to start getting some beeps because when I trigger the double free, when I exit the browser, it will blow up. So testing is going to become a bit more annoying, this point forward, but kind of comes with the territory. So, all right. So we'll start with the double free. I'm just bringing up my reference here so that I know exactly what data to write. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is build up our double free packet, and then we'll send the fragments. So to do that, we'll specify a function. So we will, just like our CPOC, for those who haven't really looked at it, we have a build routing header function. This right here, and we're going to implement this in JavaScript. So let's get started on that. Get my reference up on the other screen. So build routing header equals function. We're going to take a buffer, the size, and the next header. And what we're going to do is we're going to for var I equals 0, I is less than size, I plus equals 4, and then we'll do p.write 4 dot add 32i, and we're going to write in zeros. Basically, this is like a memset, basically. And then we're going to write the routing header into the first 4 bytes. So we're going to do a p.write 1 buff.add 32 0, and we're going to write the next header in there. Then at 1, we're going to write the size divided by 8 minus 1, because the length in the headers is in octets, not in bytes. At index 2, we're going to and then we just write zeros for the rest, which we can just leave because we already memset anyway. There we go. There's our header. Very simple. All right. Now I know I just started, guys. Just give me 1 sec. I will be right back. Probably a few minutes. I did forget to do something before I started the stream, so I'll be back in a few minutes and then we'll continue on this. Alright, sorry about that, all. I'm back. Um, alright. Um, my water softener did just kick in, so let me know if you guys hear background noise, and I can try to fix that a little bit. Hopefully it's not coming through to the stream. I do have some noise filtering on, so um, let me know if it's a problem, though, and I'll try to address it. Not hearing it? Okay, good. Just looking at chat, I still remember last stream, that frustration was real. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. I'm glad those issues are behind us, that's for sure. In regards to the repo, yeah, I haven't updated it. I'm sorry. Well, mainly because on the WebKit side of things, there hasn't been anything to update on there yet. At the end of this stream, I will update it with what I have at the end of the stream with the port. I do have the gist up though. Actually, I should have put that in a command. My bad for not putting a command for this. Maybe Z can set one up really quickly. I do have the gist for the POC though, for FreeBSD, and there it is. So anybody who wants to look at the CPOC, there it is. All right, and that's what we're porting. So if you want to keep it up on one of your monitors or something, or look at that while we're doing the port, you can feel free to. All right, so we have the routing header build function. Now we're going to move on to actually calling it on a double free packet. So in C, we had a double free packet of packet 1 size plus packet 2 size. Let's copy these constants, actually. We're going to copy these into JavaScript. So we'll do that here. And we'll do var. Wait, does it work in? Yeah, VS Code allows me to do the multi-line select. There we go. So, yeah, we have our loopback sockets. We have our tag packet. So here's where we'll do the double free. So actually, I'll copy my same comment. We'll try to keep it relatively close to C. How long did it take you to fix it anyway? Is this like off stream, your productivity goes 300% and you got it done in a couple minutes, or is this a couple hours of frustration? Narrowing down the issue, I think it took me maybe an hour and a half or so. So yeah, not really that much quicker. Like it probably would have taken me roughly the same time on stream. It was just that when I was streaming yesterday or the day before, I was kind of I kind of had to go. So I couldn't have a really long stream, so I kind of had to cut it there. Why the port to JavaScript if there's C code? Just curious. So I could run the C code through a ROP compiler. That is essentially what SlearsGovey does. I don't like doing that. And if you want to see the reason why, let me pull it up here. See if I can get something up. So I'm just looking for SlearsGovey's POC. I know I have it. Okay, right. Here it is. This is why I don't like doing compiling ROP chains. 224,000 lines of code in one JavaScript file. Now, while that is a lot of lines of code, like you're not going to be directly editing this file usually, but when you have that big of a script being loaded into WebKit, you are applying a lot of pressure onto the state of WebKit. So it is possible that it could be crashing a little bit more than it usually would just because it's having to deal with so much data. Like, usually, if WebKit was in an unbroken state, loading a script like this would probably be fine, right? But you got to remember, in order to get to this point, in order to run ROP chains, you have to break the integrity of WebKit. You have to exploit it. When you do that, it's more finicky. It's easier to like you can if you like just poke the browser the wrong way, it will crash. So yeah, I mean Slur's Govy does it this way and it works. And that's his preferred way of doing it. I just like doing the manual ROP chains when I can. Because I just think I like having that finer degree of control over what's running. The other thing is too that I should point out is he's not running a race here, right? He's running a different strategy than I am. Where I'm running a race, I want the least amount of noise possible. I don't want a single instruction more than what I need running in the race window. So with something like this, depending on how the ROP compiler generates the chain, it's possible there could be stuff that gets put in there that I don't want, right? Whereas if I do it manually, I can fine tune. I can fine tune down to the exact level of gadgets in the chain that get ran, right? So that's the reason I'm doing it manually. All right. Is there day zero recordings? We do have the VODs up on Twitch. We don't take them down. That said, the ones that are older, like 30 days or older, are not accessible to the public. But we will be putting up some form of VODs on YouTube when we're done. It's not going to be all the streams because our stream hours are a lot. Like, in total, I think we've gone over 40 hours by now. Probably closer to 50, honestly. That would be insane, and insane amount of VODs to put on the channel. But we are going to do like a cut, right, of like the important parts of the streams and kind of splice them together. So there will be something coming out on the YouTube for that. For now, though, you just have to use the Twitch VODs that are up. So, all right. So let's build up the double free packet. So actually, we'll do stage 0 as well. Stage 0 is set up. And in the setup phase, we're going to build the double free packet. So we'll do var double free packet equals p.malloc. And this is going to be the size of packet 1 size plus packet 2 size. And then we're going to build the routing header at double free packet.add320. The size is going to be packet 1 size. And the next header is going to be IP proto routing. We're going to send a routing header. And then the second fragment is going to, .add32, sorry, is going to be at packet 1 size. So it's contiguous. Packet 2 size for the size, and then IP proto routing again. Okay, so essentially what we've done here is we've just copied what these 2 lines of code are doing from the POC, right? We're building a fragmented packet that contains 2 fragments. So this is the first fragment. It's going to consist of an IP proto routing header. And then this is the second fragment. And this is essential to the double free. Basically, this is going to be the packet that triggers the double free when we send each fragment, right? Greetings from Egypt. When is full exploit going to be available? ETA command, dude. ETA command will answer all of your questions. I guess you're around 44 to 45 hours. Yeah, that sounds probably about right. All right. So we have the routing header build up. Now we're going to get to actually triggering the double free. So we'll do a debug log. Triggering double free. We don't need the backslash n. All right. So now I need another function ported, which is the send fragment function, right? So we're going to port this function here. What this function does is it sets up the fragmented packet. So basically, when you send fragmented packets to the network stack, you have to send headers that detail how the fragment works, right? It needs to know how to parse and where to parse the headers for the additional packets that are coming, right? So in order to do that, inside of the data buffer, you send these headers, these hop by hop headers, and a fragment header in this case. And this tells you, or this tells the kernel rather, the offset of where the next header starts when it receives that packet, right? So this function just does some of the boilerplate code for that. It sets up the headers, it writes in the auxiliary data, which isn't really relevant for the exploit. We just write zeros. And then it sends it on the loopback interface for us, right? So this is the next thing to port. So this one's going to be a little bit longer, but that's fine. So once again, we'll keep all of our functions together. We will do send fragment equals function. This one takes quite a few arguments. We take a file descriptor, a data buffer, an offset, the size, a final notifier just so that we can control when we send the final fragment, which sets IP6 more frag to 0. The identifier and the next header type. Okay. So in here, in the CPOC, I allocate a stack buffer for the packet data. I am not going to do that on WebKit. I am not going to allocate a buffer inside the function. I'm going to do it outside because it's more efficient that way. Basically, the more you allocate in the ROP chain or in WebKit when you're running ROP chains, the more likely you are to crash. So that's why I do not like allocating inside of functions that are called multiple times. So we'll do fragment packet data equals p.malloc. And this is going to, I do hex 200 bytes in C. That's fine for WebKit as well. All right. So first we're going to write the hop by hop headers. To do that, we are going to write into packet or fragment packet data dot add 32.0. And we're going to write IP proto fragment because that's what the next header is in the buffer. Next thing we're going to write is a 0. Actually, one thing I will change a little bit from the CPOC, I'm going to memset this so I don't have to write zeros. Size p dot write. Oh wait, plus equals 4. P dot write for data fragments packet data dot add 32 I 0. And you know what? I'll do that outside. I can actually do that outside of the function call. Do that preemptively. Oh, Z added a POC command? Perfect. Thank you, Z. All right. So now we don't need to worry about the zeros. We're going to write another data 32.2. And this is going to be set to IP6 op pad n. And then the third thing we're going to write here is 4, because we have 4 bytes of padding. Padding we could leave alone, but I'll stay true to the CPOC and do 61, 61, 61, 61. And then we're going to write the fragment header. So the fragment header is going to consist of, well, first we need to get the mid identifier because we need to set what the fragment's off LG is or offset is, and we have to make sure that's in big endians. So it's easier if we put that in the variable and just do the bitwise on it. Is there even a point in specifying a size to p.malloc the way it's written? Technically speaking, well, yes and no. If you don't p.malloc, you could technically, like, it allocates a backing buffer for the p.mallocs for like hex 10,000 bytes. So you're not going to crash or smash some other thing's memory if you don't p.malloc. But what p.malloc does is it's essentially a bump allocator. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. Right, so... Oh, you know what? Actually, I think I'm thinking of the ROP chain. This was actually something that changed on 5.05. Never mind, actually. So yeah, you do need to p.malloc because how malloc works is it allocates a backing uint8 array in JavaScript. It makes it really large, so the size maybe doesn't matter as much, which is actually what you said. Sorry, I was thinking, do you need p.malloc? You were asking if you need to specify a size. Yeah, you probably don't, because we do add it to this x10,000 to give you a lot of breathing space. But yeah, I'll still go through it really quick for those who are curious about how the malloc works. Basically, it allocates a uint8 array inside of JavaScript. It pushes that into a variable so that it doesn't get cleaned up by the garbage collector. And then we use the p.leakval and p.read8 primitives to leak the raw pointer to the backing memory of this uint8 array. And then we return the pointer to that, basically. So that's how malloc works, for those who are curious. But yeah, you are right. Unless you're specifying a stupid large size, it doesn't really matter that much. Good morning from Halifax. We got some fellow Canadians. Hell yeah. All right. So middle is going to be set to offset plus the inverse of final. And then we're going to do more p.write ones. Oh, that's definitely not what I wanted to add. I am gonna actually quickly rewrite these so that they're in hex, just to keep it consistent. And that's going to be next header. Uh, 9 is going to be set to 0, so that actually doesn't even matter. Hex A is going to be set to mid divided by 256 because we need to convert it to big endian from little endian. And then B is going to be mid modulus 256. So what this is essentially doing is it's taking a short, which mid is supposed to be a short, which is 2 bytes. It's writing the remainder into the second byte and the whatever the term is into the first byte. I forget the damn terminology names from math, but basically it's writing the short into the buffer in big endian form. All right. So that's the fragment header taken care of. Oh, actually, not quite. We do need to write in the identifier as well. Let's do that real fast. So we'll do fragment packet data. That's going to be at hex C, and this is going to be the identifier. All right. Up next is auxiliary data, which is going to be at hex 10 away because the fragment and hop by hop header is going to take hex 10 bytes. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll do a for loop. I equals 0, I is less than size, I plus plus. And then in here, we're going to do a p.write one fragment packet data dot 32 x10 plus I. And that's going to be data I. Okay. So that takes care of the auxiliary data. Then we just need to set up the send to. So for this, I did have an address set up already in the previous work we did with Teamstar. So I am going to quickly copy that because writing the structure is kind of annoying. It's because I'd have to like reference the offsets again and stuff, and if I find it, I can use what I already had. That said, whether or not I can find it is another story. Was it in here? Where was it? Oh, right. We did a little bit different before. Because we set up the socket outside of the function, right? Or we set up the address buffer outside of the function, rather. Send fragmented packets. Right, here's where we actually sent it. Okay. Let me just bring this over to my other monitor, and I'm just gonna pull out what I need, because it'll be faster doing it this way. So we have address. That's what we need to pull. Okay. Right. So for setting up the address, we're gonna do that, let's say right here. So var address, or raw address, is p.malloc. There it's 1c. And then we're gonna write these in there. Raw address. There's a few constants I need to catch up on. If I forget, chat, remember to remind me that I need to get these constants. Although JavaScript will throw me a exception if I miss any, so I guess it won't take too long to figure it out anyway. But yeah, I have to get these constants again. All right. So yeah, that's writing the family. That's writing the port. I leveraged inet pton to get the address structure filled. Raw address. Yeah. So the reason I did this is it's just a lot easier to call inet pton with the loopback string and then just get that to write the address for us. It basically saves us from any screw ups. We just let the system do it for us, basically. Let the system do all the work. That should be it for the address, though. I think that's pretty much everything. I am just going to verify that. Make sure I'm not missing something. The address len, I think, is hex 1c. Yep, it is. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and make it so it sends the packets. Send kernel. So in here, we're going to do a p.sys call. And actually, where did I set up that address? Did I do that down here? Yeah, I did. This was not smart. I got to move this. This is too... Actually, let me move a few things here. I'm actually going to move all of this higher up. So it should be higher up. Move this to... Oh, we already had an address set up. Oh, right, yeah. Because this address was used for the UDP sockets. Okay. Yeah, we'll put that right at the very top. Oh, we do have a bit of an issue, though, where this is, actually. Because create UDP... Yeah, okay. This has to be higher up. Sorry, where I'm moving things like in and out of functions from the CPOC, I have to like rearrange the ordering of things so that I don't get undefined issues. Just make sure that this is good. Yeah, I do need to move the address allocation up. So we'll do that as well. Move that to right here. Okay, that should be good. So this is for the spray stuff, which is all good. This creates the spray sockets. This creates the raw address, and then when it gets to goes to get used in said fragment, it'll be there. Okay, cool. So we'll do p.syscall sys_send2, and we're gonna pass the fd, the buffer, which in this case is going to be just reference my CPOC, make sure I get it right. Try to get it right the first time. Yep, so we're going to pass the double free packet dot add 32.0. And then the next thing after that is going to be the packet length, which is going to be packet 1 size. Then we need 0 for the flags. Then we need an identifier. I think in my POC I just used like hex 60 or something, so we'll do that again. It's the ID, and then IP proto routing for the next header. Or sorry, that was from what I had before. Yeah, sorry, I already wrote the identifier. I was getting the two annotations I had mixed up. My bad. So yeah, we send the packet length 0, and then we send the address. Right. So raw address, and then 0x1c, because that's the size of the IP6 address that we send to. Okay, that was a lot of fun. Oh, actually, this shouldn't be packet 1 size. It should just be size. And this should be off. Okay, there we go. So just make sure I compare with my POC again to make sure that everything's in order. Where did my POC go again? I have too many things open. I need to, I need to fix this. Right. So we have the FD, we have the double free packet. And then we pass the data offset plus size. Does that make sense? Let me think about this for a second. Oh, this has to be 0x10 plus size. Yeah, because we need to leave room for the header. So okay, and then we pass the raw address and we pass the address size. Okay, I think this is good. This makes sense. So that's the send fragment function, and then we just need to call it. So here's where we're going to do send fragment raw stock double free packets at 32 0. Actually, we don't need to do that because we have the offset set already. Offset's going to be 0, packet 1 size for the size, 0, 60, 60, 60, 60, and a routing header for the next header in that buffer. And then we're just going to duplicate that, but instead of the offset being 0, it's going to be set to packet 1 size. And this is going to be set to the length of the double free packet minus packet 1 size, which is just going to be packet 2 size. And this has to be set to 1 because that's the final packet. Yeah, I think this is good. So we should be good to try out the double free now. We'll know if it worked because we'll crash if we leave the browser. So, well, let me correct myself. We'll be good to test this when we get the constants ported. I haven't forgotten. I do need to get the constants over. Let's do that now, actually. Once again, where I already ported these to JavaScript, I'm just going to pull them from what I had before. So put them at the top, all the rest. There we go. That should give us everything. We shouldn't need these, because these were old for testing. Alright, these should be good, I think. The only other thing now is actually setting up the raw socket. So I set up the address for the raw socket. I do still need to actually um, set that up, though. So let's do that now. So we'll do that, I guess, right at the very top. We'll do it right where we set up the address here. So raw sock equals p.syscall syssocket, and that's going to be an inet6 socket. It's going to be a raw socket, and it's going to be opened with the hop ops protocol, which I did remove the constant for because I forgot we do actually need that. So let's just pull that back again. Okay, there we go. Right, so we set up the raw address. We open a socket. Do we have to bind it? Let me just double check here if we had to bind it or not. I don't think we did. Because I think we can just, yeah, we can just send the raw, the packets on it. Right. Okay, I think we should be good to test now. So I'm going to switch over to the PS4 view. Oh, do we have a new emote? That looks good, Z. I like it. New emote, guys. Just dropped. Fresh out of the oven. So any subs who want to give it a try, you can give it a go. We got a bad code emote. I like how you added that emote while I'm writing code. I see what you're doing, Z. I don't appreciate it, but it is a nice emote, so it's fine. But I see what you're doing. All right. We do have a reference error. It's saying can't find variable sc, so I probably just missed something here. Let's see. Where is sc missing? Oh. Yeah, that would be a problem. There we go. That should fix that issue. Z's on point. Yeah, he doesn't miss a beat, man. He's there to pounce on me when I'm writing my code. Oh, I did forget one constant. And I don't have it actually. I need to go looking for it. Let's get it real fast. We need IP6 opt pad n and 38. Right, it's 1. Okay, cool. So oh, I'm too far up. Our IP6 opt pad n equals 1. Alright. Now we should be good, hopefully. If not, we'll tackle the next reference error we have. Which we don't have. Okay, cool. Let's see if we crash when leaving the browser. No, we don't crash. So there must be something up. There might be an issue. Seville, welcome in. To be fair, I did tell you right before you went live I was going to do some emote with fire, so it wasn't because of your code. Okay, you know what? I probably closed the chat before you sent that, so I didn't see that message. Still, it is a funny coincidence, though. I think you're covering still. All right, yeah, the double free's not working. We would have crashed by now if it was. That's fine. It's probably just we have a byte or two out of place or something. Um, oh, I think I see what the problem is. Yeah. So the way I did it in the CPOC is I passed a raw pointer to a data buffer, and I let the header building happen inside of the function, and then when I called the function, like send fragment, let's just go to the function call. Um, Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. How did I do this? How did I do this in C? I thought I saw what my problem was, but maybe I didn't. Fragment. Take a quick look at this, see if I messed something up. This should be fine with what I'm doing. Um, yeah, this should be fine. Oh, actually, I think it's not. Because I shouldn't have done this. I should have left this at double free packet. Or actually, not double free packet. I should have had this at fragment packet data. That was a silly mistake. Once again, I was conflating the two implementations. Okay, so that should work, I think. That should fix our issue. All right, let's give it another shot. See if that fixed it. See if we get a panic. Our first beep of the stream. It's not looking like it. It's looking like we're fully operational here. So that was definitely one issue, but there's more. There's more than just that issue. Okay. All good. We'll figure out what it is. Um, we will get there. So send fragments. Give this another once over. So this is IP proto fragment, which is good. You know what? Actually, I should do this inside of the function because between the two calls, it could be an issue. I don't think this is what's causing our bug, but it could be a contributing factor. Possibility. This is our identifier. Or sorry, this is our padding. My bad. Our next header is at 8. Mid. Yeah, 9, and then A is where mid divided by 256, and mid modulus 256 is at B, which is good. C as in as a UN32 is the identifier, which is good. Here we start writing at hex 10 to leave space for the header, which is good. We write the data. Data I. Right. Okay. So I think that auxiliary data makes sense. But I just want to verify that that is in fact the case. There's something about my POC that's kind of got me a little bit confused about why it works the way it does. I just want to take a quick look at it, make sure I'm not crazy. What I'm looking at in my POC is I call send fragment with a double free packet as the data buffer both times. Like I don't modify this pointer when I pass it. Um, Ideally, in this second fragment, I would be sending like the routing headers that I built up in this on line 391. But in here, I just pass the packet data right along and I write using the data pointer that gets passed in. Hmm. Well, it worked in the CPOC, so I guess it makes sense with what I was doing, but okay. I think what I'll do is maybe JS makes mid divided by 256 a float. I don't think so because I think we did that before and it worked fine. I'm actually just gonna double check my logic on that. So that was the fragment header. Yeah, we did it before and it worked fine. So you know what? I might just pull the function I had before because I know it did work. It's just I'll have to modify it to work with how I have things set up now, which is fine, but it might make sense to do that. Okay, I'll kind of walk back on that. I will back this up just in case, but I think I'm gonna change this into a function I already had set up, which is this. So this took an ID, a split offset data, and has more fragments. Um, I do need to pull these constants in that I used in this implementation as well, which is fine. I can do that really quickly here. Pull those in at the top. There we go. So send fragmented packet. I do need to change this to fragment packet data. Okay. So that writes the fragment, pattern, routing, split offset, ID. I think this all makes sense. This I need to change though. This needs to be raw sock. This needs to be raw address. The 1C makes sense. And then I just need to get the way that I called that function. And we should be good to just get the double free right away. Because we had it working with this before, I'm pretty sure. Right? Let me just double check. So let's compare this with my CPOC. See if anything needs adjustment. So we got the fragment, the pattern, the routing header. So far, everything's good. We got reserved, off LG, identifier, auxiliary data. Yeah, okay, that looks good. So here we should just be able to change this to then fragmented packet, and we'll just have to change it to accommodate the arguments. Because we will have to drop some, but that's fine. We can make that work. So the ID comes first. I'll just comment these out. Do our new ones here. Send fragmented packet. We're going to send that on 60, 60, 60, 60. The split offset is going to be packet one size. The data is going to be double free packet. And has more fragments is going to be 1. And then for our next fragment, it's going to be the same identifier. The split offset, sorry. Split offset's packet one size here. It is 0 here. Double free packet and 0. Okay, let's give that a shot. Oh, we got Teamstar in chat. Sorry, I've been outdated on chat. I missed a lot apparently. I was a little more focused than I realized. Oh, fuck off. Is there think our double free is still not working. I don't know why though. I think it's still fucked. God damn, dude. Okay, let me catch up on chat. What are we seeing on the top right screen? That is the serial output of PS4. Spec, do you think you'll be able to edit the WebKit as well later on? I'm probably not going to touch the WebKit exploit now. I've already kind of said it. I don't think there's much that can be done on that front, unless you get an info leak paired with it. So it's the offsets. You send two different packets in the C version. It's the same buffer, but one packet is after the other. In the JS version, you send them from two different buffers. From what I remember with what I had set up, I still have it in this other thing here. I think it was fine the way I had it. Cause yeah, just like the CPOC, like me, I can do a split window, right? I can. Perfect. It is a little bit cramped. Try to make it work though. Okay. So send packet, send fragment. Okay. So raw sock. Let's and like this. Okay. Now we can compare them one to one. Raw sock, double free packet. Oh, forgot this one. Packet one size 0, 60s IP proto routing. Yep. And then the second fragment is raw sock, double free packet, packet one size. Packet two size makes sense because, yeah, that's effectively the same thing. 16060 routing. Yeah, I'm not sure I see what you were talking about there. I am calling it the same way in both. If this turns out to work as a PS4 jailbreak, will it be the first time that there are two jailbreaks out there for the same version? That's an interesting question. Actually, I think it will be the first. Maybe not for the same version. No, because 1.76 had a few different exploits. It had the infamous. I just said the infamous, and I can't remember the damn name of it now. The x86 bug, the swap GS, I think it was. But yeah, the initial bug used compromised PS4, and then it also had CTert's send message heap overflow. So there was a few exploits that targeted 1.76. I think this will be the first bug where there's two different exploit implementations, though. I think. Add Teamstar. Yeah, we're gonna get. I'll go into the Discord. I'm not sure if he's in there already. He did mention something about getting a coffee. So yeah, he's not in there yet. I will go in there though, so that I'm there for when he joins. Okay. 3.552. Oh yeah, that is right. You're right. The infamous checks notes bug. Yeah. I mean, I say it was the infamous because it was the first PS4 jailbreak, but for some reason I can't remember the exact specifics of the bug. I know it was it wasn't Sony's fault. It was it was a pretty crazy bug. Bad IRET. Yes, thank you. Bad IRET. Jesus. I can't believe I can't remember that. The previous one had two implementations as well, I think. Chendo Chap did an implementation in hand coded ROP chains. I think he did the same strategy though. I could be wrong on that, but I think he did the same strategy. Yeah, the send fragments look okay for me. Um, let's compare the functions one to one. Feels kind of like I feel kind of dumb that this isn't working, but so we zero it out, which is good. We send the fragment IP6 pad n, the 4 at 3. At 4, we write we write different numbers here, but this is just padding. It doesn't matter anyway. Mid is set the same way. Next header is set the same way. Mid 256 at A, mid percent 256 at B, ID at C, auxiliary data at hex 10 plus I, hex 10 plus I. Send to packet data. Oh, is this where we differed? Maybe. No, that was always at hex 10. The size 0 raw address. Yeah, I'm calling it the same way. So why is it? I'm curious what Teamstar was meant when he said I was doing two different buffers. From what I can see, my C to JavaScript is basically 1-to-1. But yeah, I don't know. Strange. How do we write off LG in here? We did the mid thing with the offset. Which is, yeah, I do the same thing. So that's not it. Yeah, I'm Oh, wait. Hold on. Hold on a minute. Data dot add 32i, right? Let me try that. Damn it. I was really hoping that was the problem. But it seems like it's not. Okay. See, what I thought was the problem was in the send fragment that I had in JavaScript. I was writing to data, which is a p.malloc buffer, and I was accessing it as if it were a JavaScript array, but I changed it to the add 32 to be like the proper form, but oh, actually, wait a minute. P.read one. I have to read what's at this, not just pass the address, because we're writing what was already there. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. You've got your coffee.
Yes.
Ready to go. This is a bit annoying. I thought I found the issue, but it seems I didn't. Okay. Still not triggering then. Alright, cool.
You're not triggering the bug?
No.
Maybe it got fixed?
Get out of here. Maybe it got fixed. Yeah, I mean I'm opening it the proper way.
Can you send me an invite?
Oh, yeah, I can actually. Wait, sign in? What? It never asked me to sign in before. Hold on. What? Get out of here.
Am I signed in? I don't know how this app works. Why is
Dude,
everything so confusing?
it has literally never asked me to sign in before. What the
You were signed in before though, weren't you?
I don't think I was.
Like you could do account-based
Oh, continue as anonymous maybe?
stuff.
No, that's not it. Really, man? Okay. One sec. I might have to try to sign in here really quick. I think I can do it through GitHub OAuth. That'll be quick.
Yeah, I do it through GitHub.
Okay. Okay, I think I have an invite link for you now. I don't know why it signed me out. That's really weird. I guess I have rebooted. I had my PS4 my PC going for like 42 days with no rebooting before like a couple days ago. So maybe that was why. I don't know. All right.
Sign in.
Whatever. When you can't drink normal coffee, so you have to drink decaf, it's pretty much sad fee at that point. Leak password to it now. Did you know the
Signed
PS4
in.
can run video games straight without turning off for a minimum 6 months to 2 years maximum without causing any harm to the hardware? Um, I mean, it kind of makes sense. The only way you're gonna get hardware to fail is through like thermal degradation or what's the other one? It's basically like the electrons in the like silicon and shit, like in the wiring get knocked out. I forget what it's called, but like it has to happen over a long period of time. So you probably could leave the system on for a long time and not like impact the system too much. You will degrade it more than you would if you like kept it off, but um yeah.
Oh, I managed to join.
Yeah, sorry, I had to accept it, which is weird. It didn't make me do that before, but now it did. I don't know if my VS Code updated or something. Um,
Maybe.
so you can see what I have up, yeah?
All right. Yeah, let me see. What are we looking at?
So I'm working directly in userland.js. Um, I do have my exploit POC in spec-exploit.c, just so it's like readily available. Um, from what I can tell, my send fragment function is functionally like equivalent. And the way I'm calling it seems to be equivalent too, so I'm not sure why the bug isn't triggering.
Said
Well, I'm not
fragment.
spraying, but I feel like I would have crashed by now if it was triggering. So I don't think it is. That said, I am not doing the tag packet spray yet. So
Why don't you like copy and paste that from one of our working exploits? I mean, it's literally the same thing. Or is that copied?
um, this isn't. Um, the way that I set up the fragment header is a little bit different than what we had before in our streams. I could copy that code back and rework it, but I was just kind of hoping that I could do like a rewrite of my CPOC and just do it fresh, but it's not working. So I guess I was wrong. Um,
Okay, so I will. Okay, where do you do that in your CPOC? Where is the line where you send the two packets to trigger the bug?
line 400 in the CPOC is
These
where they're
two.
called. Yeah.
Okay. So I will do a hex dump of these two packets. You do the same on the JavaScript side.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's see. Do I
Because
still
it
have
smells
them?
like your packets are wrong.
Oh, they probably are.
Also, did you fix up the defines? Like remember BSD and or like at least macOS and PS4 um, values were different for like some constants.
Oh, I have the variable set up. Yeah, for the constant values. I pulled those from our previous work actually. since I already had those written up.
Okay.
This we're going to be dumping. Sire hurts a lot. Just humor me. Can you try that little snippet above and check its value? I'm not sure what you were referring to there. If that's what you're talking about with just humor me, like which snippet? There's quite a bit going on there. I do have the dump on the JavaScript side, and it does look bad. Oh wait, no. Wait, is it bad? Let me double check. Actually, no, I think it should
I'm
be okay.
still in the process of waking up, so I'm kind of a bit slow.
Okay, in underscore log.txt, I put the dump from WebKit, and I can spin up BSD and see if I can get it too. Man, this is really ugly. Hold on, this looks so bad, and when it's stretched. Okay, this is a little bit more tolerable. Do I have the? I do have the hex dump in this one. Cool. Hex dump. Oh, okay.
Um, I was still trying to find this one hex dump function, but I gave up eventually. You know, the one that everybody uses?
I have that one. I can put it in log if you need it.
Yeah, the dump hex one?
I think I do. Just does it all like pretty. There you go.
No, this is not the one I was looking for.
Oh, it's not? Okay. This one does like the bytes and then the ASCII next to it and everything. Like it's
I
nice
can
too.
use it though anyway.
But yeah, what I have up on the stream. Let me compare with what I.
Man, this one is even worse. Anyway, doesn't really matter.
QB, OB, zeros all the way through. 4, 0, 1, 2,
Oh
3,
shit, the
4, 5,
build
6.
failed.
I think I have
Do you
it.
have undefined?
I verified that it's the same on both. Sorry, what were you gonna say with undefined something?
Yeah, it doesn't compile on my machine.
What does it give?
You don't include pthread.
Oh, you have to specify the
Pthread.
pthread flag to
Pthread.
GCC. You always have to do that
I'm not.
when you use any threading functions.
I'm not using. Oh, it's not the linking issue. It's a header issue.
What is it saying?
It's okay. I got it working. Overlap failed. All right. Where's the log? Is that it?
Oh, sorry. Which pack? What are you dumping?
I'm dumping right before the. Where am I dumping though? Before the send.
You're dumping double free packet data.
Hex. Okay, I'm dumping inside send fragment right before the send to the packet data.
Oh, I see. Okay, I dumped at a different location. I can change my userland.js to do that too. Um,
Yeah, because we want to see it there, because otherwise you can still fuck it up.
right. Packet data, and then this will be x10 plus size, and we'll do a debug.
Now let me find the dump hex. C GitHub
Okay.
is hex. Oh, there it is. Did I find it? No, that's not it. Oh, it's that function though. Okay, I was looking for this one.
Okay, there we go. I think I have it. So 2C014 padding 2B1 identifier 2B and then on the second packet it's 2C14 60 2B0B. This looks reasonable to me. These look fine.
Yeah.
I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew it was like the data should have been fine. But then why is it fucking up? While you're looking at the log, I'm gonna check something. Log log. I did an experiment on all PS4 models. I took off the fan of all PS4 systems, and Fat went 2 minutes before giving heat message. Pro went 10 seconds, but Slim worked for 50 minutes before heat message. Also, using PS4 vertically is better as well. Yeah, I mean, the
Okay.
consoles have always been bad for airflow.
I don't know what I'm doing. But it does look like the same package.
Yeah. Um, I just
I
dumped the
assume
return value
sizes.
of send2, and I'm getting 70 on the first and 30 on the second, which I think is valid for the sizes. Um, maybe I can validate that really quick.
I'm already on it.
Oh, are you? Okay. Yeah, just dump what the return values of the send2s are. I think it should be hex 70 and hex 20. That's what I'm getting in WebKit. But yeah,
Oh,
wait.
you're doing hex. Okay.
Yeah,
Let me do hex. Don't do hex without the 0x prefix. But
I
yeah, 70 and 30 is correct.
yeah. Sorry, I know I'm bad with that. Um, so then what the hell's the problem? Hmm.
So these two packets are the only thing required to trigger the bug.
Should be. Yeah, that was enough. When we were testing it before, we can do the
Are you
spray,
using
but
are you using the same? So it might be two things. One is that it does trigger the bug and we're just not seeing it. So you can just run that in a loop and it may or may not crash. And the other thing is, are we sending the same packets that we sent before?
the actual packets we're sending aren't. I don't think they're the exact same ones we sent on the earlier
What did you
streams we did.
change?
I'd have to go and look at the old, like your old exploit file to see what changed. Uh, This was the packet fragment, right? So this was doing a fragment desktops. Yeah, so they're a little different. Um, sorry, let me just go
Is
to.
that irrelevant to the exploit though?
I'm not sure. I don't think it would be relevant to the exploit, but I'm not 100% certain. I think the biggest difference that I can see off the top of, like just taking a quick glance at it, is we don't use a destination header, um, in the POC for the exploit, and Go doesn't use a destination header either, if I remember correctly. He just uses a hop by hop and a fragment header. Um,
Because I did remember that we tried to switch to the hop by hop thing and we couldn't trigger it, remember?
well, the hop by hop was always like the protocol that we opened with. Um,
Oh, right. But yeah, but we switched to I think some DHCP or something, you know.
yeah, we played around with a few different protocols for the next header type. Um, yeah, what I might do, I just want to check one thing, and then once I've validated that that's the case, I'm gonna put the tag packet spray in to see if we are in fact triggering the double frame. We're just getting extremely lucky, and it's not crashing the system. I find that really hard to believe, but it is a
I'm on it.
possibility.
We
Ross.
will know that in a second.
Oh, are you editing userland.js?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't mess with it then.
Do you have the sleep function? The use sleep?
Um, no, but I can get it.
Yeah, can you get it?
Where are you at? I'll just put it in log. Put it
Um,
at the top of log. There we go.
how do you call it? F.use sleep? Oh,
Oh, sorry, I have one more thing to add here.
p.f.
There we go. I was missing the resolution.
Um, okay. Yeah, can you add the first thing into userland.js somewhere?
Yeah, I got you.
Because now I modified the code. Um, so it just triggers the thing in the loop.
Okay. Good to run.
Um, if you added the use sleep, then I guess yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can see my modification here.
Watch it still like not
Do
crash. I think it's
do
pretty
I
impossible that
have
it
no?
would. But
I don't have the UART block, do I?
oh no, you
Oh,
don't,
did you
because I have it in a separate window.
add it to the stream?
Yeah, I have a little window set up through OBS,
Ah,
so I have it on a
interesting.
different monitor, but I can. It makes it easier for me. That way, I don't have to keep everything
I
on one
see.
monitor. Right now we're just the page is blank. It's probably it might actually be blocking. Would it be blocking since you sent the final
Well,
packet?
I did put a use sleep in there, but it shouldn't be blocking. And like 1,000 times 420, what's that? 4 seconds or 42 seconds? No, not even.
400 milliseconds times 1,000. That it's too late to do math.
Oh, alright, it's too early.
For you, it's too early. Okay, that's 420 seconds total. Yeah, that
Oh,
makes
is
sense.
it?
Yeah, because it's a wait, no, sorry, you're right. No, it's microseconds, not milliseconds. Yeah, because it's you sleep. Micro. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, why is it why are we not getting anything in the log then?
That's less than a second.
Yeah, I think it's blocked or something.
Why would it block?
Let me just back out and go back in. See what happens. What is going on? Oh, you
Still
know
no
what?
crashes?
I'm not even getting the triggering double free debug log.
Oh, right.
So what happened? Something.
Oh, is your
Oh,
sleep
you can't.
thingy
You use let. You
broke?
can't use let on PS4. I think that's probably what broke it.
Let?
Yeah, you
Oh,
did a let statement. Yep, that's what it
I
was.
just autocomplete.
I don't know why let doesn't work on PS4, but it doesn't.
Oh, we still do the dumps. Damn it. Yeah, okay. I feel like we're not crashing it.
Yeah, by now we totally should have. Oh shit! Can I not back out of the browser? Okay, now I can. Yeah, triggering it that many times, we can't be triggering it. There's no way. Shit, what is
So
wrong
the
here then?
question is whether you really want to use it the way you did, um, or wait a second. Wait a second. What is the 2C? We had the exact byte same dump, didn't we?
I'm pretty sure we did. Yeah, I'm looking back at
That's not.
log.txt.
Is is that correct?
Believe so. Yeah.
I remember that we totally did not have. We did have some differences between macOS and PS4. I don't remember where though.
I'm trying to think. I think you know what? I think it was on the address buffer dump because the family identifier was different between Mac and BSD.
Yeah, let's dump that one because we did not dump that yet.
The address buffer. Yeah, I mean we can, but I literally still like ripped that code from our working trigger from before, so I don't see how that would have broken. But we can dump the raw address as well for the raw socket. Um, p.dump bytes raw address 0x1c.
Okay.
Oh shit.
Oh, I did
Uh,
remove some of the code. Or did you put that back in?
no, it wasn't that. It was the send to return values. I forgot that I had those in there.
I did uncomment some other thing.
Okay, so
Oh, I already have it here.
oh, where'd you put it? Sorry, I didn't realize you had it already. Okay. Okay, we do
So
have
it
some
does look somewhat.
discrepancies.
Okay, 1E, 1C, I think that is expected. What is. We don't have the identifier. Or is that. No, what's that
Um,
1337? That's the
that's the
port.
that's the port. Yeah, I
We
don't think
do
the
not set a port.
I don't think the port matters though because we're on a local bind. I mean, I can write it just in case, but
Yeah, put in a port and we don't set a destination address.
what did that? What was?
Oh, you don't set a destination address.
What do you mean I
See
don't?
this one here?
But
That's where the packet is going.
I call inet pton to get that written in there though. So why isn't it? I call a function to. Okay, I can write it myself, but I don't know why the inet pton would be failing. All right, so that's at where hex 18. Did you say? It looks like hex 18.
Uh, oh yeah, one
No, hex 17. I think, right? Yeah.
18
I
maybe.
don't know why the inet pton would be failing on me like that though. Raw address dot add 32.
It should be 18.
18. Okay.
Oh, it's yeah, whatever.
I was bragging earlier about how using inet pton would like let the system do the work and not let us make any mistakes, and like, guess I was wrong. Stupid shit. Sorry, let me get this debug log out of here. I gotta run this again if I can. Okay.
Um,
How many times did you run that loop?
yes.
Shouldn't be taking this long, I don't think. Let's try backing out. See if anything crashed. Oh, this might be a good sign. Maybe? Oh, maybe not.
Just to
Anyway,
be
I can
sure, did you
compare the new dump.
dump another time? Okay, there's another dump. You still don't set the address.
What the I do an explicit write.
Yeah, I think you got pranked.
Did it not? What? Hold on. Raw address.
How can I follow your
Um,
cursor?
if you go to session and you click on my little circle, it should allow you to follow me there. AlberZH OFI, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Welcome indeed.
I totally missed what you just showed me.
Oh, if you go to the collaboration tab and then you click on the little circle next to my name, that'll allow
Oh,
you to
okay.
follow me, basically.
Oh, okay, got it. Perfect.
Oh, sorry. I do write it. It's just I did it after the dump by accident. I put it in the wrong spot. It is there though. It was just.
Sure.
There we go. Now it's in the. Right. There we go. That looks.
Looks about right.
No, you were wrong. It's not at hex 18. It's at hex 17.
Okay, I was wrong.
All good. Off by ones. Get you every time. I'll give it a second here to try to run a few times, but then we'll back out of the browser.
It's weird though that it doesn't run through.
Yeah, I'm gonna comment out your loop actually. I don't know why it's not crashing though. Like this is really testing my patience.
I
Everything,
feel
all the
like
data is
the
correct. I
I
don't
feel like the
understand.
F call, is that even working the you sleep? Or is that blocking?
It shouldn't be blocking. I don't.
Because we also never get to the reach the end.
In your loop, no, we didn't. um,
Oh, why does it say guest user? Am I not signed in?
no, you're not. Apparently, not to me
Oh
anyway.
shit.
Dude,
Right,
this
doesn't
is
really
so
matter.
frustrating. We've double checked the data and even changed it so it matches like exactly, and it still doesn't work. What the
But do we get to reach the end?
Oh, when I removed your loop, yeah, we do.
Okay, because I did not see that.
I'm just like double checking to make sure I'm not crazy. Like the 1C, 1E, that's a fine difference. That's just different constants between Mac OS and PS4. My latest dump puts
Oh, is that the 606060 the ID?
yes, it is.
We may want to change that.
I don't think it makes a. I don't think it should. Well, we could send
It
different
makes a
IDs
difference
every
for
loop.
rerunning.
Yeah, we could
Yeah,
change
can
it
you
for every
try
loop.
that? Oh, wait. Before you do that, let's also do... Is that how it works?
Yep. So we have that, and then yeah, there we go. Let's give that an
That
attempt.
might be relevant for retriggering it.
I think at this point though, like there's no way we're triggering the bug. Even if we let your loop run through, we should have crashed like minutes ago at this point.
Guess so.
I'll let it run through just to see, but for whatever reason, we're not triggering the damn double free. It's fucking piss off.
Like, what we could still do is just like use the code that we had already working. If that doesn't make a difference in our exploit, I do remember though that for some reason one invocation triggers kind of two um two double frees for some reason, maybe. But that shouldn't be an issue, I think.
Well, I'll keep this code, and I'll revert back to.
Make sure to name it something memorable like userland.js.backup.backup27.
We will do so. This is what I had back when I was trying a different race. So it has the tagged like packet spray and everything in there. I do need to change a few things, but I guess before we do that, let's just make sure that this works as it was. I want to get a crash at this point, man. We've had the beep counter. It's been sitting there. I've been telling everyone we're going to use it, hanging everyone by a thread, and we're not using it, man. It's brutal. Oh, right. This was a... Oh, I remember this one. This one had an issue where it couldn't send after, like, it stopped sending or reading shit after Hex83 for some stupid ass reason.
Don't you have like one of my pogs?
I had yours, but it had a lot of stuff in it because it was trying to do the zone reclaiming thing. So I don't want to copy all of that. Mine basically had like everything that I had removed already. I think it was just my sizes that were off. I think I can fix it. So let me just get rid of the split view because I don't. Oh shit! No, that was the opposite of what I wanted to do. Okay. There we go.
Oh, there it is. Exploit team star.
Yeah, I kept it in there, but okay. So let me just get the sizes I used in my POC because the sizes actually are pretty important. It kind of pisses me off that like that function I wrote didn't work though, because we checked all the data and it checks out, but I don't know why it won't trigger. It's stupid. Figure that out some other time maybe if I'm bored. Um, so push mbuff is where we start the tagged spray.
All right.
Right. So the tagged packet that was I think 49 integers in size or hex C4 bytes. Let me just verify that though. Yeah, it's 49 ints. Okay. So tag packet equals p.malloc c4. And then in here, we're going to do p.write for tag packet I. And here, we're going to change this to tag packet. And this is going to be hex c4. Okay. This is not relevant anymore. Don't need this fcall thing. Actually, we do, but I need to change the value. Because in my POC I did 1 second, so we'll change 1 second to microseconds. That's going to be there.
So what's your steps on exploiting?
So
spray.
I'll cover them in a sec. Tommy Lee 67, thank you for the tier 1 sub on a 2-month streak. Nice, dude. Thanks for resubbing. All right. Yeah, so you're talking about my CPOC, yeah?
Yeah.
So, fundamental steps. We trigger we do the setup shit preemptively. Then we trigger the double free, we spray tagged packets. We then peek all the tagged packets to see where we have the overlap and which sockets share the same mbuff. Once we have the overlap pair, we free one mbuff and we try to get a TCP socket pair, or we spray some SCM writes control messages on some TCP socket pairs to try to get it to reclaim the same mbuff that we have the overlap on. And then at that point, we have one UDP socket and a TCP socket pair that share the same mbuff. Then after that is when we run the race phase, which is where we basically use the UDP overlap we have to get it freed again to cause the controlled UAF, reallocate in our fake stack of file pointers, and read on thread 1 in order to hopefully get those file pointers stored in the process FD table. So mainly it's like 3 steps. First is getting the overlap on the
first
two
step that we want to do right now?
overlap on the UDP sockets. We want to get 2 sockets that share an mbuff. And we kind of already have most of that implemented. I just need to change the read to a peak. So we're going to change this to recipe from. And
oh, by the way, while you do the peak, do you free the packets afterwards? Like,
no, that would be bad.
In your
We don't want to do that.
Why?
Because we want to control when we free it later on. We don't want to free it and then lose it.
No, I mean not the overlaps, but like all the others.
Oh, I don't think you'd want to do that either. Because
why?
Because you like if you release those into the free list, you're just adding more noise into the like memory allocator, which you don't need.
You need to do that though, because if you're running the rerun, and you already like have the queue full, which by the way reminds me, do you increase the buffers
Which buffers?
You need to the backlog buffers. You need to somewhere incorporate this function and call it on the file descriptor you send it to, like on the UDP thing.
I don't think we need to do that.
You should still do it.
To be honest, I don't really want to do anything that I don't have to do. Because like if we change the receive buffer size, it's not the lines of code. It's that it's gonna change, like anything that I do here that isn't matching what I did on BSD is gonna potentially influence the behavior. And where I'm flying blind on PS4, I don't really want to do that.
You will drop packets though if you don't do that, and you don't free the other packets either. We kind of want to do both. Trust me, we want to do that.
I don't think we want to do that, but we can cross that bridge when we come to it. We're not at that point yet. We need to make sure we have the overlap before we do anything else anyway.
That's the point, though. We may want to have that to the overlap because there's a limit of how many things you can spray. Oh, wait. Are you spraying that to different sockets?
Yes. Which I actually need to set up, because in this it's spraying to one socket. I need to change that. So I'll do that in a minute.
Do we actually need to change that, though?
Yes, we do.
What do you spray? I mean, sure, you can also just change that.
We have to use multiple sockets. We can't use one.
Yes, we can.
No, we can't. Because we don't want to be... We're running a race. We don't want to have to free other shit before we free our target. That's going to mess up the race. I guarantee it. We will lose if we do that.
But not at the point where we're doing the race.
I'm just saying later on when we do the race, we need to be able to free immediately. We can't be freeing a bunch of other garbage in between, or we will lose.
Oh, I know. But that will still not be an issue. But
it will if we use one socket.
We can do it with a peak.
Yeah.
No, you can totally do it with one socket. That doesn't matter. But
no, you can't.
Yes, you can. You want me to tell how? Basically, you spray, get the overlaps, and you remember how the second packet overrides the first packet?
Yeah.
So when you receive
the
packet and you get an ID higher than you expect, you know that you freed one of the packets. So basically, if you see that, you spray the TCP packets. And then you have the TCP and the UDP packet. And then you want to get rid of the UDP packet and overlap with the file pointer, right?
But we want to start the read on the TCP socket pair first, because that's the race. We need the read to start, and then we need the corruption to happen after the read is already started on the socket pair.
Yeah, but then if you have the ID of the second packet, you know how many more packets you can pop from the queue until you reach the exact packet, and then you at the point where the next read will definitely pop the other allocation.
I see how you're like laying it out. It could possibly work, but it's a lot more noisy doing it that way.
It's not, though. I'm not saying we need to do it, though. I'm just saying it wouldn't be worse. Okay. I'm still good to do it your way.
Okay. I do kind of see what you're saying, though, with your way. That is fair. You could, because you get that overlap and you get the index, you could know in advance how many you need to pop out of the queue. Yeah. I hadn't really considered that, but you could do it that way, yeah. I would just be interested on what the implications on the race would be. And that might be something fun to play with in the BSD VM, like where I would be able to see what's happening. On PS4, it'd be tough to gauge. But yeah, I mean, what I need to do here is change it so that instead of spraying on the one socket, we're spraying on uh like maybe
Okay,
64
so
will do.
you totally know how to change the JavaScript implementation to match your CPOC. So that
Oh yeah, that should be fine.
okay, okay, so I will then take care of chat.
Okay.
Okay, chat, I will take care of you now. Hit me with something. Let's open up the more live version. Any tips on starting cybersecurity like courses? Is that how you spell that?
What did they say?
I mean, I
Like who?
think like
Oh,
courses.
courses. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay.
Do you spell it like that? I need to Google that.
Yeah, you put the correction in there. For...
Course. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I think you guys do have like a list of where things to start, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, on our Day Zero Sec blog. I don't know if Z's still around. He might have gone to bed, but I think
Okay,
we
let
have
me.
learned. Yeah,
Day
Z is still around.
zero sec.
Yeah, he put the command in chat
Sec.
for it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so I guess since people are asking that a lot, there's a chat command, which is pretty handy. Okay, so we have the security courses. First time I opened it was like, no, who the hell designed this SSD system? Are you German? We have things specifically for exploit dev, not just cybersecurity. I guess exploit dev, in my opinion, is the most fun part. Because then you like play around, can bring in your ideas, and you see it right away when it works or where it doesn't. Yeah, I think Z is on the same opinion. I remember like on the one podcast I listened to that he also likes exploits.
Yeah, it's it's one thing where it's just like you keep grinding away at it and it's fun. Whereas with Vuln Research, you can never easily gauge your progress. Like with exploit dev, you always kind of know where you are and what you have to do. But with Vuln Research, you're like you never know like how close you are to finding a bug or like if you'll find a bug soon or whatever, right? I think that's why a lot of people
Yeah.
dislike VR compared to exploit dev. Is you're flying like you're so
VR.
much more blind. Vuln Research, sorry. I know it's a
Oh,
lot longer to say Vuln Research than it is to say VR.
dude, I was watching so much VR content on YouTube since the pandemic started. Yeah,
Fair enough.
some weird shit.
I could never really get into
Don't
VR.
listen.
I've tried it, but
Oh, I wish I had a VR headset, but I need to buy a computer first. And I think we went over this topic. You can buy everything but a CPU and the GPU. So well,
yep.
because I don't have hardware that runs it. I was hoping I could do it on the PS4, and I did try to connect an what's that HTC Vive, um, but I couldn't really get like the video output working because of the Linux PS4 HDMI weirdness. So I could never get an image. And for VR, it kind of always expects you to have like two monitors. So I would have to make one virtual monitor and the second one be the actual physical one that only is used for the VR. And I didn't manage to set it up yet, and at some point just gave up. I tried kind of X11 and Wayland, but like couldn't set it up, couldn't get it to working. But yeah, if maybe someone has a PS4, it's a very specific setup, but if someone has a PS4 with Linux and knows how to do Linux and has VR, want to try to connect that and get that working, that will be super cool. But unfortunately, I don't own an HTC Vive, so I can't work on that.
Yeah, I remember when I was talking a little bit with Z about VR stuff, as he said in chat. He had some praises for the HTC Vive. I think it's the best. Generally, like general consensus, it's the best headset you can get. Basically, some of them, like the good models, are like really expensive. Like I'm pretty sure, um, like the best HTC Vive is like, last I remember, it was like $600 to $800 or something.
Yeah, something like that. That's
It
like
was
the cheap
wild.
ones.
Yeah. One thing I tried VR actually, or yeah, VR. I was thinking Bone Research in my head. I tried VR when I was at the computer museum in Seattle. Actually, they had like a little setup for it, and I was always terrified that I was gonna walk into something in the room where I couldn't actually see my
Uh, s-
surroundings. I was like, I
so they
was like
do have
basically
like
anxious
these
as hell.
protections. You basically mark the room so it knows the area, at least with the room tracking thing. And then if you go towards that area, it will display in game that, hey, you're reaching the borders, that here's the border. And you could literally see it, but only if you approach it.
Oh, that's neat. I feel like for VR to actually be leveraged, you would need something like what was that device from like the Ready Player One universe? Z, was it like an omnidirectional treadmill or something? It was basically a device you could run on where it was like a treadmill, but it you could run in any direction. That way you could walk
Oh,
and run, but you would never actually move in real space. Like
dude,
that would be cool.
that's bullshit. I actually tried that. That's bullshit. There was a few years ago on the Gamescom, and it was like a kind of pad where you could stand on, like a circle-ish pad, and then you would get like some like socks under shoes, so it would like glide when you like walk. So how do you explain it? I think you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So you can walk on the, like move your feet above the ground, like on the same spot, and it will kind of slide. And then um there was like a construct, like a harness, where you just go in and it would hold your like lower body like above the legs, so it was kind of fixed, so the legs could then move freely, and you can like walk, and the upper harness would like hold you so you don't like fall over, and that way you could literally walk in game. And it was this game which I don't think there was much to it because this was kind of walking demo. So you could walk around and turn in every direction, which sounds cool, right? But did have like a few drawbacks. The thing is, you need to walk very like kind of slowish and move your feet on the ground slowish, so because otherwise it doesn't detect. And the other thing was that it's dude, English words so early in the morning. It was really tiring, you know? We walked like 100 meters and you were like, okay, I don't want to walk anymore. This is for a lot of VR stuff where you need to move a lot. You do it like, oh, hey, that's cool. I can move around. But if you do that for like 15 minutes, you're like, okay, I don't want to move around anymore. And like you sweat while playing. I mean, I already sweat playing Black Ops 2, but I don't want to like sweat because I move.
So, part of the reason why I mentioned why I would want like a treadmill or whatever to do it is because when I tried out VR, um, I was asking the person like the VR thing they set me up in was okay, move around the room or whatever, and I was like, okay, how the hell do I do that? And they're like, use the controller to point and then click, and I'm like, this feels
Okay.
so weird. It feels horrible, like moving around with the controller and pointing like that. It feels really unnatural. I hated it. I was like, I'd rather
It's
just walk
true.
there.
It's true. So there's multiple methods for walking around. One is the point and click, which is honestly terrible. But I see why they make it as a default, because if you are not into VR, then this is like a reasonable way to move around to not get sick. So I did try playing Minecraft in VR, and there you can actually change the settings. I didn't quite figure out the controls, but there's basically a way where you can move a button like a trigger, like the R2 and L2 on the PS4, where the harder you press, the more it kind of triggers.
Yeah, it's
Something
like
like
an
that on the
analog input.
yeah, something like
Yeah.
that on the VR controller, and the more you would press it, the kind of faster-ish you would go forward.
So
And
it's
it
almost
sounds
like
cool.
driving in GTA or something, kind of.
Kind of you press it and you walk. Yeah, I guess. But I haven't played GTA in ages. Um, which is a cool way to move around because it feels more natural, right? But as soon as you start moving the slightest bit with that method, you will get like sick immediately. Um,
I can
because you're
imagine
not
the
used to it.
dissonance.
I think
Yeah.
it takes quite a while to get used to it. I just tried it a couple times, but like moving around for that just a bit, you will get sick immediately. If you're not used to that, that's terrible. So you really need to kind of learn that, I guess. And maybe after a while, it's like, if you never drive in a car and then you get in a car or something, or maybe like boat sick, similar to that. If you like standing and press a button to move around in VR, it's the same thing. It's terrible. How's the exploit going? Still working?
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm not getting debug logs anymore. It's like I was getting them before, but I'm not anymore. I don't understand. You know what? It's probably put an alert on the exception catch. There's got to be an exception being thrown that's just not getting printed for some reason. Nope.
Going to say the whole room scale aspect helps with motion and sickness. Yeah, I guess that makes, because there you like actually move around, which is less of an issue than when you're moving while you're not. Okay, so let's help you out a bit. Oh, you have all. Did you implement all stages already?
No, no, no.
Wait,
I was
I'm
just
looking at
working.
userland.js, right?
Yep, that's what I'm editing. Although it wouldn't seem that way because the behavior I'm getting doesn't make sense. Oh, it was Windows. Let's see.
How was it Windows?
If you like right click on the command prompt or whatever and you don't realize it, which I do a lot because my mouse is broken, it does 2 clicks when I click once a lot. So it was in mark mode, so no new like
Oh,
text was coming through.
oh, oh.
Yeah, I need to get a new mouse, dude. Something still doesn't make sense though. With like, I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. Let me just back out here for a sec. I basically changed it so that I'm running a for loop to open like a 64 sockets. Oh, wait a minute. I see what the problem is.
You do need to increase limits.
It's
You
not the
may
limit.
not.
It's not the limit.
You have a limit on how many file descriptors you can open, though.
Yeah, it's like hex 400 or something, I think.
Did we try that actually?
I tried that yesterday. I had the number written down in my
On the
old exploit
PS4?
file. Yeah.
On the
Um,
PS4? Okay.
I had a comment for it here. Let me just see exactly what that comment was. Yeah,
Alright, it's fine.
max hex 400 FD, and you already started hex 11, so you can open hex 3 EF files. All right. Yeah. So I'm opening 64 UDP sockets. Now they're actually opening properly because I fixed the bug. I was using for loops and I kept the I, so it was corrupting the parent loop. So
Oh, I see. Yeah,
that problem.
that's a
Uh,
classic.
yep, classic issue. Now I just need to make it so
Although
that the double free runs and
technically in C that shouldn't be an issue. While I guess it still kind of is, because the ladder declaration of the variable should hide the previous one, which
in C it's
I'm not
scoped.
sure
In
always
JavaScript
happens.
it's not. I
Yeah,
don't know why.
yeah, I know in JavaScript it's not, but like,
I actually, why does anybody know why JavaScript doesn't do local variable scoping like that? Because you would like,
I know that every variable you declare is like available not at the time where you declare, but actually like inside the whole scope.
so it's like automatically added to the window object or whatever. That's just
It's something
so
like that,
weird.
yeah.
Just JavaScript things, man. Just JavaScript things. All right. This is going to be we're going to read tag packet. To string 16. Oh,
I'd
this I just
recommend
want to
C
do.
over C++. Maybe for starters, but I do love C++. You can off border thing. Um,
Why don't you just buy a new mouse? Do you not have enough money? No, I mean I okay. I don't know why it panicked right away. That's weird. I can buy a new mouse. I just haven't bothered. Um, to be honest with you, this is uh I've already bought a mouse like 6 months ago, and that one got busted too. I've not had good luck with mice lately. Um,
what do you do with your mice?
I don't do anything crazy. I mean, when I get mad, I might slam it down on the table, but like that, they're supposed to be able to take abuse. I think. I never used to have these problems though, like with mice. Um, Only recently, like last year or two, I've had like really bad luck with them.
Is that anger problem related to gaming or to coding?
Oh, coding. I don't get mad when I game like I do when I'm writing like exploit shit. It makes me really frustrated.
So that's what people say when they're saying mad exploit dev.
You know what? Okay, I will like walk that back a little bit. There was one game that used to make me more angry, and I don't play it anymore because of it, and that was CS:GO. CS:GO used to make me really, really damn angry, and I had to stop playing it because it was very unhealthy.
I'm playing Minecraft lately. Like 8 p.m. A couple hours after work, 8 p.m. we start, and then to 12 p.m. we just play through. How do you debug log directly on the PS4? That's a good question. He soldered magic wires into the PS4, and there the packets get back to his computer.
Pretty much. Magic wires with lead-free, shitty-ass solder. It's only the wires need to do magic.
All right, so let's. Oh, the beep counter's at 4?
Yeah, we're getting up there.
Wait, is that this stream only?
Yeah. Um,
What happened to the one forever?
because it's been so long. For one thing, I don't even remember what it was at before.
Oh,
um, I could go back and like look through the VODs to try to figure out what it was, but I was just like, well, it's been like a couple weeks since I've even, or not a couple weeks, but like a week since I've even done anything on PS4. So I was like, I guess I'll just reset it back to 0. We can add it. We can total like tally it at the end though. Like I can go back through the VODs and tally it.
All right, what state are we at in the exploit? Do we have the flag?
We do not have the flag. I panicked before the reclaim happened. I think that was because of some leftover code that I forgot to cut out. So
All right, what stages can we go through?
mainly what we're looking for right now is I have. So let me go up here a little bit. Oh wait, let me get rid of this. This is old too. I don't. This isn't being ran or anything, but just take the confusion away. So yeah, I modified it so that I open 64 UDP sockets. I store them in an array, and then we trigger the double free. Let me just check one other thing actually. Spray socket UDP. Let me just make sure I'm not using any reference. Okay, yeah, it's fine. Yeah, so I allocate 64 UDP sockets. I trigger the double free, and then I spray packets into each UDP socket. Then I do a sleep, and then I peak them all. And the sleep is just to make sure that all the packet sends go through before we check any of them. Before we
So we
panicked after the
only
double free, but I think that was because of old code. So
Pray OX. What's that? Is that OX 40?
yes, it
That
is.
is few packets. Okay, okay, let's keep going. Then we peak. Okay, so we just want to peak it.
Okay, we're reading it now. Oh, I guess we didn't trigger the over. Oh, we did trigger the overlap. I just didn't have the checks. So I0 reads in 8, and then 8 reads in 8. So we have the overlap there. Perfect. So
That
overlap
is
is working.
super lucky. That is lucky.
Why is
Because
that
if it
lucky?
happens on the first one, like you're lucky that the OS doesn't reclaim it if it happens right on the first one.
Yeah, I guess so. But that's just one of those things. Like I was saying to people, the PS4 has like very little movement compared to BSD VM in the MBuff zone. I don't know why, but it does. Like the free list
Dude,
is
on
not
on
going
like
through
the
as much changes.
BSD, you would have to do much more shaping. Here, you're just like going straight for it.
Oh yeah, dude. On BSD VM, I've had overlaps before where it was like, let's see if I can see one here. 114 to
Oh, I mean,
115. Like,
yeah,
yeah,
you need to. I was saying that you would have to adjust the code a lot to get it working if the heap was noisier. But
yeah,
since that is working, let's go with the next step.
yep. So let me just comment so I can keep track of where I am. So make a big ass comment so I know I won't miss it. Stage 0, trigger UAF, or double free. Stage 1, overlap 2 UDP socks. Where am I? I am here. I want to keep that because I don't want to ruin your art. So uh, free and reallocate one socket pair, which we do have to set up those too. We'll do that now, I guess. We'll open 64 as well for now. The socks pairs Oh, I always do this when I like have been writing C for a while and come back to JavaScript. Um, so let me just reference my POC here to make sure I call this correctly. So I never use
Oh,
socket pairs in legitimate contexts. Socket pair AF Unix sock stream 0. Wait, what? Oh, okay.
yeah, it was me. I'm
Uh,
writing more comments.
actually, I have to change this a little bit. Okay. I was using the userland wrapper on BSD VM. Sys.
Okay, I added more comments. Okay, what are we at? This is called.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting like something for my reference here. Okay. So wait, how does that work exactly? What is RSV? I'm gonna have to look at the man page for this for a second.
What is socket pair though?
It basically opens sockets
Oh,
and it opens a socket and duplicates it and gives you the dupe FD. We need that for the Unix, if Unix sockets.
dupe FD, but for TCP sockets. So it takes in a pointer which
Right. Okay.
writes to ins. I'm
Yeah,
looking at your C code.
I just wanted to make sure that I had that right. So I got to change this actually. TCP sock pairs equals p dot malloc 4 times 64 times 2
Oh shit.
ints. So int times 64 socket pairs.
Oh, you're doing the comment.
Yeah, I just want to note like exactly why I specified that number because I will forget it later. All right, p.syscall sys socket pair. That's going to be an AF Unix sock stream 0 on the protocol, and we are writing into TCP sock pairs add 32 4 times I times 2.
Times 2.
Yeah, perfect. Um, and then we'll verify that the opening. Sock pairs 32 4 times I 2, and then that's going to be connected to 3, 4 sock. Just quick.
Do we actually want to keep it like that? We should change that because that will be hard to work with.
Sorry, what?
Mm,
Which part?
I will modify your code without asking. Don't worry.
Okay. Sock pair 1, sock pair 2. All right. So what we're doing here is we're invoking the socket pair syscall. I do need to get. I don't think I have this. Do I? No. This up here. Bar AF Unix. I think it's 1, but I'm not willing to free dive that. Actually, it might not be 1. That might be AF or inet that I'm thinking of. AF Unix. Oh, it is 1. Okay. My memory served me well for once. Sock stream, I don't think I have that either, do I? No, I don't. Okay, we'll add sock stream as well. I think this is 0. No, it's 1. Okay. Okay, I think we have the constants we need.
How do you append an array? Is that how you do that?
Oh shit! Wait, what are we doing?
We just store it as JavaScript, because fuck it.
Okay. So you're writing into the cursor, and then you're doing. Does that work in JavaScript? I don't even know. That looks kind of wild.
How do you append an array? I don't. Let me check my JavaScript. Console.
The push method.
A.
I don't know if you can push 2 values at the same time, but we can just do them in separate pushes.
Oh, I want to push an array, not 2 values.
Oh. Okay. Then yeah, I guess that should work because you can have multi-dimensional arrays in JavaScript, so that should be fine. So then you would do TCP sock pairs I 0 and I 1 like that, yeah?
Yeah, I think the push works.
All right, let's give that a shot. I think. Oh, we didn't crash. That's surprising. I thought we would crash as soon as we left the browser. We'll probably crash when we re-enter. Oh no, make a fool out of me, I guess. Okay.
Why? Why don't you just log these?
What? I do. What do you mean?
Yeah, you do, but it's like.
Why did I log them? Because I want to make sure that it's working before I move on. I don't want to hit a bug because the socket pairs were not opening for whatever reason. Hey, you're the one who loves test-driven development.
I am incorrect. I'm just used to print the most local variable for efficiency reason. So I would have printed socket pair 1 rather than TCP socket pair I.0.
Yeah, it was because I wrote that out or I modified it while you were like changing that still.
Oh, I see. I see. I mean, it works. Should be good.
Yeah, I mean anyone over 20 is pretty much ancient. I mean, yeah, if you're over 20, you're basically a boomer, right? That's how it works.
Oh shit.
Dead by 27 club, you know? No, not actually. Just kidding. I'm not going to join the Zoomer death cult.
I'm AFK for a sec.
All right. I mean, for what it's worth, I'm over 20, so I'm putting myself in the boomer camp. But there is like speaking seriously though, there is kind of a problem in the security industry that I see on like Twitter and stuff of people comparing their age and their ability at that age to like other people. Like they'll look at QWERTY or something and they'll be like, "Oh man, when he was 20, he was doing this and that," and like it is. I don't know why like so many people think in those terms. I think if you absolutely have to compare yourself to others, age is a really dumb factor to do it on. Years of experience makes a lot more sense. Um, I don't know why everyone uses like age as the gold standard or something. It's weird. Oh shit. We didn't trigger overlap, did we? Young people have the most free time, so they can do more in less time. Yeah, I mean, okay, something's wrong because we're crashing. What is this? I don't know what this is. I don't know what. I don't know why we're doing locals. I don't even know if you can do that in JavaScript. I don't know if that was causing the issue or not, but let me just log what this is because we were crashing and I'm not totally sure why. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do an
Okay,
infinite
I'm
loop at
back.
the end. Welcome back.
Why would you want to do that?
Browser's crashing. I don't know why, but it is. So I'm just trying to identify why that's happening. But the system crashed, so I have to reboot it. When come new Verizon system edit? I think he meant version, but um, I don't fully understand what that means.
Maybe like system version spoofing? Is that a thing? Is that needed for anything?
People do it. It's not really needed for anything because it's not like you can go online with it or something.
Oh, can you block updates with that?
I'm trying to think if that's one of the methods that causes updates to not happen. It might be like the system firmware
Because
spoofing. Yeah.
that would be super useful. Because right now, when I connect my PS4 to like unrestricted internet, it will download the update right away, which is bad.
You know what people do? I don't really recommend it, but what people do is they actually corrupt their update partition on purpose so that it's impossible for that to happen. You
I
can
think I
fix it by like
tried that.
restoring the system, but
I think I tried. I want to do that.
yeah, there should be a payload. I know for 5.05 there was a payload to do that. I don't know what the situation is on the higher firmwares. Alizif would be the one to ask for that. I don't know if she's around. I don't I don't think she's around. It's probably too late for most people in this region. But oh yeah, there is a DNS blocking payload. Okay, there you go. Somebody just linked it in chat.
Oh, I don't really want to do DNS blocking because is that like on system or how does that work?
I thought it was on system, but when I reread that message, oh no, okay, that is
Yeah,
yeah,
I
that's not
don't
what they
want
want.
to like
There you go. LM has a solution
I don't want
too.
to
You create a folder, name the pup, and update. Okay, that's how you corrupt those.
I think I did try that actually, and that didn't really work. So basically, I was looking through a payload which deletes the file and creates a folder with that exact name instead. I think that did not work for me. Because I know there's a payload doing exactly that.
God damn PS4, man, crashed again.
Is it crashing?
Yeah, it's crashing. I don't know why. I have to try to fix
Oh,
that.
why do you open the socket pairs after you triggered though? Why don't you do that before? Or do
That's
you
a
need to
very
do
good
it?
question. It shouldn't matter because I have like claimed the dangling pointers with the previous spray, but I will actually move it
How
because
many pointers do you claim? Because there should be two.
well the spray size is 64, so
That
it
might
should
be
claim them.
like not enough.
It might be.
It does
It's
it
something I'll
does
have to look
claim
into.
one, but there's usually two.
Okay,
Oh,
TCP socket pairs.
I know how to fix that.
I just want to test the socket pairs, sir. I'm returning before the double free, just so you know.
Sure. I will implement that though.
Oh, Retro Gamer's in here too. He said, yeah, basically what LM was saying with creating a directory with the same name as the update download file. That's a clever trick. I never actually looked into how those tricks worked because I didn't really care that much, but that's a cool trick. Makes sense. Are we rebooted yet? I hope so. Yeah, we're good. We're ready for a reboot. All right. All right. We're just testing socket pairs. We're not triggering the bug, so I'm not expecting anything crazy.
Okay, let me know before you trigger, because okay, triggered.
That's a problem. Although, oh wait, that didn't save. Uh-oh. Did I trigger the double free? I might have. Wait, why is it doing that? I moved it.
I'm kind of editing. Maybe I shouldn't.
Yeah, maybe we're getting some overlap because the socket pairs are happening after the spray, and that shouldn't be happening.
Why do you run connect?
Sorry, I just like saved a lot. So what the whoa? Okay, what the hell's going on here, dude?
What's happening?
It's not doing it in the right order. It's doing these spray socket things, which shouldn't even be running. Oh no, sorry, that's from a different thing. Okay, yeah, that's fine actually. The socket pairs aren't working though, which is a problem. Um, uh, mm, let me check Arno. Yeah, right, 8. Arno address 0. And we'll do a Arno equals read 8. Arno address. I will prevent triggering you and put the 0x prefix. Okay, let's see what Arno is saying for the socket pairs. It looks like spraying on PS4 is extremely slow compared to virtual machines. That's probably our debug logs doing that, in all honesty. And I just have that in there as like a temporary thing to make sure that the calls are going through. Hex 2B, what is that? 2B or not 2B? What is that? 43. Okay. Uh, what is 43? E proto no. What? No, you have to be able
Oh,
to
is it
open
not
Unix.
implemented?
No, you have to be able to open Unix sockets because I'm almost certain. That's what there's gonna be.
No, the socket pairs.
Yeah, he opens socket pairs. I'm looking at his jb.c right now. He opens Unix socket pairs. So what? Do I have the wrong ID maybe? The wrong. Oh, yeah. These are in the wrong spot. These are too low. These have to be moved up. I'm gonna put them at the top here. Okay. Now they should work.
I changed the way the sockets open. You may want to check if that still works.
What line?
this.
Okay, socket pair's open now. So, well, okay, there is a problem. The socket pair is open, but the second element in the array that gets pushed is not correct. Oh yeah, because you got to add 4, not 1.
Oh, it was, to be fair, it was in your. Oh, maybe. Yeah. Anyways,
Yeah, all good.
yeah.
WebKit crashed. Is that
I'm
just a one-time thing?
currently.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, these are
Wait.
legit. All right, we have socket pairs working. That's good.
Okay, can you verify that the spray UDP sockets are still fine?
Like they're still opening.
Yeah.
P.get UDP socket, right?
Oh yeah, that's a way.
Getting late. I'm getting my things jumbled together. Spray socket.
Okay, that should be good enough.
Oh shit. Well, that's not correct. There's something wrong here. Oh, you never
Oh
returned
yeah,
the FD.
never return.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, these FDs all look good.
No, perfect.
So there is some sort of instability that's happening in WebKit. I'm not totally certain what it is. Let me just copy this so I don't have to deal with the constantly shifting crap. But yeah, I mean there is a problem because it doesn't even finish opening socket pairs before it crashes. Not entirely sure why that's the case. It could be we have a subtle bug, but it's hard to say.
So what exactly is the issue?
WebKit will crash. It crashed in the middle of opening socket pairs. Do we allocate? No, nothing
But
gets allocated
you
in
didn't
here.
trigger the bug yet, did you?
No.
Oh wait, it's WebKit that
Yeah,
crashes.
yeah, it's WebKit that crashes. Um, you know what it might be? It might be that we're issuing too many ROP chain syscalls, because p.syscall spawns a new ROP chain every single time. And I feel like this was an issue we had even back in like 5.05 days, actually, like when 5.05 was still a new firmware. I think if you look at my GitHub like implementation for the 5.05 exploit, I manually created ROP chains and ran them, and I think it was because of this. If you invoked p.syscall too many times, something gets corrupted in the state of how the ROP is handled, and I think that's what's causing the crash. So we can fix this.
Wait.
It's just going to be, it'll be annoying, but we can fix it.
So you're leaking memory?
It's not a memory leak. It's how the ROP chain is managed. Because I forget the specifics. If you look at where is it? Let me scroll up to where it's relevant. Yeah, so 242 launch chain. This is basically the function that's responsible for launching ROP chains. It's been like far too long for me to remember what the exact issue was, but I think if you got this launch chain function called too much, something gets corrupted in in the way that the chain is created and it blows up. So,
Okay. So
um,
does it do you new erase each time, or how does it work?
so I didn't actually write the launch chain function. I think that was from QWERTY's original WebKit exploit from way long ago, and I just kind of I kept it in there. I didn't change it because there was no reason to, or I didn't see any reason to at the time. Um, I did like have notes on exactly how it worked, but those are long gone. Um, I want to say Chendo Chat might have done a better implementation though. So if I can find that, it might be worth switching to using that if he has a cleaned up launch chain. So, but that's just a like the WebKit crashing doesn't really have anything to do with our code. That's just how ROP chains are handled. So, yeah, I mean the
Can
code
we
we've written.
reduce the number of syscalls though?
Oh, well, the p dot
Or is it
syscalls
only
we
like
can.
sometimes?
Um, it's the p dot syscall that we can't call too many times, not syscalls directly. Like we can write one chain that calls like a syscall 250 times and it'll be fine. But if you use p.syscall, which runs a new ROP chain for every attempt, that's when you get problems. Um,
Wait, what? How do we wait, but we use p.syscall everywhere.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like if you look at the p.syscall implementation, it spawns it calls p.fcall, which spawns a new ROP chain every single run. Whereas you can actually do a manual chain and run multiple syscalls and run it all in one ROP chain. And that's the more stable way to do it technically. So, but yeah, I mean, I could check out Chendo Chaps because I think Chendo Chap did one where you don't even have to do that, where it can run a lot of like ROP chains without issue.
Wait, why
So I can just find
why
that.
don't we do like what I remember we wanted to try one specific syscall or something which wasn't in there, and we made can we not manually spawn one single ROP chain and reuse that every time?
We can create a ROP chain and run it. Yeah, it's just more of a pain in the ass because we don't get the like nice primitives that we have set up.
Why not? I mean, all
Because
right, let's
p.fcall.
tackle let's take no, let's tackle this. Can you make one ROP chain which we can call in a function multiple times?
I mean, we can already do like a var chain equals new ROP and then push gadgets into
Do
that and
that.
run it multiple times.
Do
Yeah.
that. Do
I
that.
I think I will change it to do that. That said, it's 5 a.m. for me, so I might call it
Oh,
there. Where
so you
we,
wanna
yeah, I might call it there because we did make some good progress today. Um, the double free is back and
basically
triggering on WebKit. Sorry, go
we
ahead.
can make one single syscall primitive, which is we did that before though. We make a ROP chain which jumps into an existing syscall, and then we just skip the first instruction, and that will allow us to specify the syscall number in the register as an argument, so that we can make a syscall function which just jumps to the very same thing, and then we just need to change the syscall number.
Oh, that doesn't matter. That's not going to change anything. The issue I'm
Why?
talking the issue I'm talking about is related to running too many chains. If we run a chain every time we call a syscall, then we're just gonna run this. We're gonna hit the same issue. What I'm saying is we make
Oh,
multiple syscalls
we
in one
cannot
chain.
run it. We
We
cannot we cannot run the chain, or can we not create the chain?
I think it's when we try to run chains too many times, something gets corrupted in the internal state. So
So even if you
basically, we
make
would put
one
multiple
single
syscalls
chain,
into one chain.
so if you make one chain and that chain you just call over and over again, that will fuck up.
No, what you would do is you would make one chain and just call it once, and you would have your syscalls all in that one chain. That's what we did on 5.05.
No, I get that, but I mean, I'm asking whether if you do one chain and run it over and over again, whether that will fuck up.
Eventually, yeah, probably. But it'll fuck up a
Uh,
lot later than doing multiple syscalls and multiple chains. Basically, the way the ROP is written right now, after a certain amount of chain runs, shit will blow up. Like after like maybe 100 or 200. Um, if you combine your chains together so that there's less chain runs, you lessen the likelihood of crashing, right? So to kind of
okay.
demonstrate, let me just see if I can pull it up really fast on my cryptogenic repo. Kernel. I gotta turn off dark mode. It really fucks with GitHub. So you can see in this while loop on 353, I create this race chain, and then I push the syscall, like the instructions for making syscalls, into one chain and then run the one chain instead of doing like each syscall in its own ROP chain, right? And this was for two reasons. One, for what I just mentioned, where lowering your amount of chain runs increases your WebKit stability, and the other thing is because I was doing because it's a race, you want to minimize your noise as much as possible. So keeping it all in one chain gets your tighter timings. Um, but yeah, like that's an example of what we would do. We would create this race chain, which is like race equals new ROP on 102, and then we would just push our syscall, like our instructions to set up the registers and the syscall uh, address ourselves. It's a little bit annoying, and we could create a function that'll push these gadgets in for syscalls, but it's probably the best way forward. Unless, like I said, I look at GendoChap's thing and see if I can port that down 5.05. But
So okay, I'm thinking we can. I guess that's probably the best way. I'm just thinking there might be an alternative where we can move all syscalls to different threads. So if we make one thread which just kind of spins idle in a job chain, and then we just give it like pass over the rob change to that other thread and we'll execute it, then we don't like do the invocations from WebKit. Not sure if that's worth the effort though.
um, in my experience, you cannot reliably have more than one additional thread in WebKit. It'll hang forever. You have to reboot.
We don't need more than one thread. We just need one, and we need
No,
one thread
I already
anyways.
need I
So
need one thread for my race. Yeah.
yeah, we can reuse that though.
Reusing threads is really tricky. I
No, I
don't like
mean like
making
we.
thread functions complicated because um you have to do like the p thread setup and everything through ROP chains and it sucks.
Yeah, no, but we could set up one thread once and then give it like different chains to execute. So your like chain would be just one of those chains, and then syscalls could be other chains.
Yeah, that wouldn't be worth it. That'd be a lot of
Probably.
work. And I don't think it'd be super stable either. I don't know why. I don't know what it is with threads in WebKit. You would think like certain things, like doing something sane with a thread in WebKit would be fine, but there's times where I've tried to create a thread, like just one additional thread that has um like let's say like four or five syscalls in it, and when I do that, the browser just hangs and it will never work again until I restart the system. I don't know what causes it, but it is a behavior I've observed. I don't know why. It's just weird. It's something specific to like how the PS4 WebKit runs, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, I'll probably work on refactoring this a little bit off stream. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think we did some good progress today. We got the double free triggering again on WebKit. We do have the overlap going. We have socket pairs being created. if we compare it to like our CPOC, we basically have, so 321 to 571 is the main function. We basically have 371 to 371 to like 471 done basically. So we've got like a third of it done. We've got the one phase done, and then we just need to do the other two. The third phase will be the hardest because it's the race portion, and we'll have to like get timings down. But yeah, I overall I think we got we got further today than I got on the last stream. That's for sure. We made some good progress. But yeah, I think that's probably where I'm gonna call it for today. We're pushing 10 after 5. Thank you for coming on though, Teamstar. It was fun having you
Yo,
on,
no
and
problem.
it was fun when you were handling the chat and I was just like coding away. That was nice. I could, just focus on the code and not look at chat for a few minutes. That was really fun. Um, left chat in your capable hands. um, and yeah, like when we were tackling different parts of the code. Pair programming is fun. I don't get to do it too often, so appreciate opportunities to do it. I do not know when I will be streaming again. Probably within a couple days, but I don't have like a scheduled time or anything worked out. So for those who want to know when the next stream goes up, follow us on Twitter. Check out our Discord. I always do announcements there. Like I'll basically start the stream and then do the announcements there right away, and start within like 5 to 10 minutes. So yep, follow us on those mediums for that. For those who don't know, we also do weekly podcasts on Monday, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. It is your podcast, and that's coming up for next week. So that might be interesting to some of you out there. But other than that, yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there. Unless, do you have any last minute thoughts, Teamstar? Any last minute messages?
Not really.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you on the next stream. Z is gonna raid you over to how do you say that? Is that Blueater, and but you put an I instead, or Buater? I don't know. We're gonna raid you over to Buater, however you say his name. He's doing some hack the box stuff, so we'll raid you over to him. Once again, thanks to everyone who tuned in, and we'll see you on the next stream.